it's a big church, and
How
yet
big is it?
I don't know. They have 3 campuses,
Oh, wow.
and the campus that we're joining is the newest one. It's a little over a year old, and all I know is there are 400 people who volunteer for a Sunday service.
Oh, wow.
So they probably have more people making coffee than go to our church project in
That's
Winter Park.
crazy.
It's a pretty amazing. So
Wow.
in some ways, I'm like, Lord, what do you want the Hammonds there for? That is so funny to me.
Hello, friends. This week, we talked with Peter Hammond. This was an interview from a while ago. Pete was getting ready to transition from his role here in Colorado at a Bible school to a church down in Arkansas, and just wanted to kind of touch base on that. I wanted to hear how the transition was going and all of that. So we get some good nuggets in, but it was a chaotic time for him. So in the middle, he got a call from his realtor, and then he was buying a house. They were trying to move within a few days. And yeah, so the interview kind of got cut short. Then he had to leave early. We kind of tease another interview though. So this is the Peter Hammond teaser. There will be a longer, more drawn out, more in-depth episode coming. But for now, let's kind of give you an idea of who Pete is and his story. I think it was still a good interview. Excited for you to hear it. So let's check it out.
All right. Sweet. So we've got Peter Hammond here today.
Hi, everyone.
Excited,
Great to be here.
Excited to finally get you in here.
Yes, it's been a while.
Yeah. So Pete is over here involved in Timberline Bible School right here near us. You've been involved with Church Project for how long?
Almost 3 years.
Okay.
We began in September of 2020. So
Wow.
that's an interesting time to start at a church,
Yeah.
but it's going great.
And so you were double dipping in the ministry life.
I was.
Full time
Yes.
at the Bible school, and then a decent amount of hours with Church Project.
Mm-hmm.
Ministry is always more than you think it will be.
It is. The real cool thing was when we were kind of just asked if we'd consider joining Church Project. We investigated the ecclesiology of Church Project, and it's pretty sweet. It's a church of house churches. So we saw with that we were able to actually kind of function in a healthy way. At least we thought we could, and I think we did, because they're house church pastors that are really shepherding the flock in smaller house churches, which that's what it's about. So it's really I think worked pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah, for those that don't know, Church Project really focuses on the original style of the church, and that there was large groups, but then there was smaller groups that would meet during the week at their houses, and just kind of discipleship grew out of that, and then the community aspect.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm part of Church Project, but that's probably the biggest thing I think for me is just like that community aspect that Church Project has that not a lot of other churches I feel like do, especially not in the 2020s.
Right. I think what it gets me excited is the fact that we have 4 house church pastors. We're, a lot smaller than other church projects, but we have 4 house church pastors that aren't on the payroll. So it's not a heavy administrative, it's not a heavy cost for running the church. And with those tithes, we just really are able to be very generous to local ministries. And so that's been a huge blessing. And it's been awesome to see guys who have really been called by the Lord to be able to shepherd these house churches. And so really as they grow, they're baptizing, marrying, burying, ideally, these house church people, hopefully not burying as much as marrying and other things, but yeah.
That's awesome. So when you were at the Bible school, it was still it was mostly fresh out of high school, kind of early 20s aged. What was the difference for you going from that to a church of all age ranges?
Yeah. I think I really enjoyed the permanency or the longevity of the people in our church, and I love Timberline for Bible school. But one of the differences in that is that we have a very similar age group that come in for 8 or 9 months, which is a privilege to be able to disciple and invest in their lives, but then they're gone. And that's great to send them out, but some we'll never see again. Where with church, people are here. They're in it for the long haul, ideally, and we get to live life with them. So that was probably a big difference, and I just love the variety of ages. So it's fun. You get people who have been walking with the Lord for a long time and people who are brand new or just checking things out at church. So I really actually love the combination of Timberline and Church Project. It was a sweet mix.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't think about that. Yeah, like it's kind of like the ski instructor dilemma is you're passionate about skiing,
right?
But you're teaching people to ski every day, and tomorrow you're going to have somebody that doesn't know how to ski again.
Exactly.
And you got to start over.
Right.
And you don't get that growth, that long-term growth.
Mm-hmm.
And you're getting ready to leave to go to a new church.
Yes.
New life. Switch it up.
Yes.
Huge change in ministry.
Yeah, pretty exciting for us. It's my wife calls it sorrowful joyfulness that we have, and it's truly that. So yes, we were called in. Well, the opportunity arose in February, and a pastor who I've known for 19 years, who used to take his youth group out to Timberline, contacted me, and he said, "Hey, we're looking for a community pastor with this set of giftings." And when I read that, I said, "Are you talking about me?" Because that sure does sound like me. So that began the discussion, and it was through a lot of prayer and fasting that we journeyed with that staff crew on seeking who the Lord wanted to bring there. And there's never been anything more clear in my life in a calling than this, which I'm super thankful for, because I know it's not my choice. We're just being obedient to what God has called us to do, because Fraser is an awesome place. And we've been here for 20 years, and it's not something that you just get up and leave, for us at least, because we have our roots deep into this county, and we love it here.
Yeah. And you guys have a few kids who are in the school of different ages, and that's a big deal to move.
It is a big deal. So Elizabeth's our oldest, and she's going to college, but still, as a person in college, you have your home, and it's been your home since she's been about 6 months old. And so that's a challenge, especially when your college is near your home, and now we're moving about 12 hours away. But I think it's a step of faith. It's not just for mom and dad, but it's for the whole Hammond family. We're in many ways in the same boat, because we weren't seeking this opportunity. None of us were. We have great friends here, and for all of us to uproot, we're in this journey, in this boat with the Lord, and He's really kind of opening up the doors and letting us know, one step at a time, what needs to be shown to us.
Yeah. Whoops. There we go. I
Yeah.
hit the wrong button. But yeah, so how was it telling your kids, or asking them, or being like, how did you say, like, hey, we're thinking we might be moving?
Sure. Yeah, early on, we did ask each of our kids individually what they would think about moving. And David, who's our second, is going into a senior year in high school. And surprisingly, he was the most open to it, most excited. Noelle and Claire have good friends here, and Claire, our youngest, she just rocked it in school last year and was really excited to go back, and has done well. Like, it was really cool the other day. She signed up for classes in Arkansas, and she's like, I'm getting really excited for this. So, but initially it was just putting that out there and like, here's an opportunity. We don't know if the Lord is directing us there or not, but what would you guys think? And I think that even for Beth and for me, it's kind of moved from like, I don't know what you're talking, like, I don't think so, to more and more excitement as we've had the clear calling to go there.
Yeah. And it seems like, I think it's encouraging from talking to you is that you do feel like, you're like, oh man, like this is falling into like this is pushing us, and it's like just that encouragement of like, is this really what I should be doing? And it's like, okay, no, you're doing the right thing.
Right.
And I think, with your kids being on board is kind of a big deal.
Huge. Because if your kids aren't on board, it's really hard, I would think.
Yeah.
And they are, and they're excited. And so that's been a huge blessing for us. And that's something that for Beth, my wife, initially she was just like overwhelmed when you think about like moving. Like, how in the world will any of this happen? We're so settled here. Where like life is good, and we have the things that we're expecting to come even this fall. Like, here's where Noelle will be in high school and our kids will be in school, and these are the things that they'll be doing. And then that stops and you're shifting gears, putting it in neutral, and then like, okay, we're going somewhere else. And that's big. And I think, and I hope that this is going to be something where they're going to look back and say, wow, God was really directing us and leading us. And although super hard to leave, what we've experienced since then has been really significant and worthwhile. So Psalm 66:5 is one verse that has been ringing through in my head, because it says, come and see what the Lord has done. And when I read that, we don't know. I don't even really know exactly I know kind of what I'll be doing, but don't know really what I'll be doing until we step into it and get a feel for it and meet people. And we've never lived in the South. We didn't grow up in church. We don't know what church life is necessarily like, except from our 30s on, and never mind Southern church life. So it's different, it's different. And I'm excited because in some ways, I'm glad that we are a little bit ignorant of what some people are just used to.
Yeah.
It's all new to us.
That's really interesting to think about. Yeah, like not growing up in church and then going to a place that has such, I don't want to use like standards, but there's that cliche of like how church looks in the South.
Right.
And it's definitely more of a cultural thing than it is here.
Sure.
And that balance. But people, that being said, people are still way more laid back here in the mountains of Colorado than they are
for sure
down in South.
And we're just a fellowship church where we're heading is an awesome church. We have partnered with them for 19 years at Timberline. And every time the youth group comes, Beth and I have said to ourselves, I wish our kids could be part of a youth group like this.
That's awesome.
And what's really cool is not only are they going to be part of one like it, they're going to be part of that one. And we have seen from a distance the way this church operates, and it's not, it's really fluid. They pursue the Lord, and it's super encouraging. So we're excited to join the team there. It's like leaving Timberline to our cousins, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is awesome that you've kind of got that overlay of like, I've seen how their church works when they're out in public. That whole thing, like, your parents always tell you, like, when you're out in public, you represent me.
Yes.
Babe.
Yeah.
You don't always do it, but you see like how, okay, like this, you could see the leadership structure in the people when they're on a trip.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's authentic, and they do an amazing job of discipling the young people that come through there. And I think the same with the others, because it's a big church. And how
big is it?
I don't know. They have 3 campuses.
Oh, wow.
And the campus that we're joining is the newest one. It's a little over a year old. And all I know is there are 400 people who volunteer for a Sunday service.
Oh, wow.
So they probably have more people making coffee than go to our church project in Winter Park.
Crazy.
It's pretty amazing. So
wow.
In some ways I'm like, Lord, what do you want the Hammonds there for? That is so funny to me. I was a waiter, I was waiting tables in the Vail Valley, and the Lord just plucked me out, and just trust that he's got me on a journey, and us as on a journey, all of us, not just Pete Hammond, but the Hammond family and anyone following the Lord. So it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Well, I know that things are going crazy, and so you have to get going soon. But I think we're going to try to pick this up again.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Soon enough.
Yeah, when I come back to pick up our stuff to bring back
Yeah.
to Arkansas, I'd love to continue.
Sweet. Well, thanks so much. I
certainly.
appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
All right, come on.
Hey, thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, it was short and sweet, but I still think it was good. So, if you like this, share it with somebody. That helps me know that you actually enjoy it. If you share it, then I'm like, oh, wow, people love that. If you have ideas, feel free to message me on social media. Probably easiest way is just send me a message. Just send me a message on Instagram, Prodigal Theology, or just follow us wherever. Like I said, these videos are up on YouTube, Spotify, anywhere you get podcasts. So tell us what you think, and hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you at the next one.